And we're back with part 2 about convection currents. So what we're going to change is just a simple variable this time. We took that beaker of water, room temperature water, and we're placing it on a hot plate. So it's been on there for about 30 seconds so far. So what we're going to do is take that ice, put it on one side of the water again, and we're going to drop food coloring right by the ice, and we're going to see what happens to that food coloring. If you just watched the last one, did you discuss or discover that the food coloring sinks right away because cold water is more dense? So the cold water by that ice is going to sink and bring that food coloring with it. And when it sinks, other water has to take its place. And that's what a convection current is, right? So the other water from near the top of the beaker to the right side is just going to shift over to the ice as this water sinks. So it makes a complete convection current in here. So what we saw was the food coloring sink and then kind of fill the bottom here, right? And it didn't ever really go back up to the top half because it was still cold water. So eventually we'd see kind of uniformly fill everything up. So let's see what happens when the water is heated from the bottom and a little bit hotter than before. So here's the chunk of ice. I'm going to set it on the side. There we go. I'm going to take my food coloring. Let's suck some up here. And let's place it in there. And we're ready for this. Okay, there goes the food coloring, and just like that, it went down to the bottom right away by the ice. And now, what is that food coloring doing? It's not hanging as low last time, is it? It's shifting up and going up. Sorry about the background contrast, but do you see how the blue is definitely moving to the top of the water? I'll try to go from different angles here this time. And how it spread up and went to near the top, as opposed to hanging out at the bottom. So why will that food coloring water go down initially and then quickly go to the top of the water and fill almost the whole container with blue this time? Can you make sense of why heating from the bottom would do that and what that means? One thing about cool water is that it contains more oxygen, which marine life needs, right? So when we do have cold water at the top, it's a good thing that it can sink down and get down to the bottom of the lake to provide more oxygen and provide that cycling of nutrients and oxygen for everything in there. So hopefully this helps clarify about how convection currents happen with different temperature water in oceans and lakes.